In the ocean with you, baby, up with a slow motion crew, and we up in a growling when people change, but not us, and we just chillin', kicking it, kissed by the sun, could be soaked to the skin in the mall too. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same. Even if I lost my money, the zero runs deep, honey, and I don't need to speak a single word, cause you got me holding, holding. Speak the single word, cause you got me holding. You got me holding, holding. I'll be running, possessed by a low, low voodoo. Fired up like a wolf on a full moon. And we stuck in a la la land. The tides will turn without us. And I'll be killing time like I might be a cartoon. Take it in real life like haiku. I know we got the good vibes when pieces fall right into place. Even if I lost my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, cause you got me holding. Speak a single word, cause you got me holding, holding. You got me holding, holding. You got me holding. Steve, honey, and I don't need to speak a single word, cause you got me holding, holding. Speak a single word, cause you got me holding. Play me like a bass guitar, simmer down and mess me up. Tripping like I'm Jimmy at Woodstock. It hard, got me around in your resort. Shivers down my spinal cord. Oh, cause you got me holding, holding. Even if I lost my money, cause it runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, cause you got me holding, holding. I don't need to speak a single word, cause you got me holding. You got me holding. Sometimes I'm selfish, I feel oh, you made a promise, I kept it. Now I'm second guessing, my whole world has shifted again. To an empty room, and it's setting in. Now that your things are gone, I guess I deserve it. In the shadows where I go, I'm still searching for the right road to try, and I'm trying, but it's useless every time. Stuck in my head though, and I know that I'll be here till I let go. And I try, but it's useless every time. I try back to an empty excess. Now that your wings are gone, I guess how to.
Time it is. Marvin Devine, Uber. So, and you know how we do. Yeah, I got the juice. Yeah, I got the juice. Big game cool, make them look like woo. Always playing cool, that's the biggest rule. Forget what they doing, keep on doing. I've been making loot since like 22. Me how I made it right here in the booth. Yeah. I'm always pursued cause of what I pursue. That's crazy. Yeah, I gotta make it, I got things to lose. Boy, when I get in my groove, boy, you can't get in my groove. Selling Uber way too viable. Joint drop, better call troops. Better rate the road. You already know what happens when we link up. Let's go. Yeah, I got the juice. Yeah, I got the juice. Big game cool, make them look like woo. Always playing cool, that's the biggest rule. Forget what they doing, keep on doing.
It's all about humanity.
She met. It's all about humanity. Humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. Humanity. It's all about humanity. Humanity. It's all about humanity.
When it hurts like this, we climb the greatest heights, jump down and have a fight, and that's all we'll ever like, but that can never change my mind. When it's good, it's amazing. When it's bad, it's uneasy. I wouldn't have it another way. There's no other way. Yeah. When it hurts like that, never like, beat it, never like, never like, never like, beat it, never like. When it hurts like that, never like, never like, never like, never like, never like. When it hurts like this, we hold each other high, but we fall 1,000 times. But I'd never say goodbye or ever leave this stuff behind. When it's good, it's amazing. When it's bad, it's uneasy. I wouldn't have it another way. There's no other way. Yeah. When it hurts like this, never like, beat it, never like, never like, never like, never like, beat it, never like. When it hurts like this, never like, never like, never like, never like, never like. When it hurts like this.
Why, hello everybody, and welcome back to another Valhalla Camp Hill live stream. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Monday night, so you all know what that means. We have some Fortnite duo builds. We are very excited about our teams tonight. A lot of action to bounce back from last week. Obviously, we saw some teams struggle. Some teams did very well. We saw some struggle. I think some of the teams are still adapting to the new season of the fall season, of course, but also just to the new season of Fortnite. If some of you may or may not know, the Fortnite Mayors, or whatever the actual name for it is, just came out, I believe, earlier this week. I'm not totally sure. So as we wait for the players to get adjusted to that, obviously we will keep ourselves up to date. But let me introduce you very quickly to these teams as we are getting ready to go here. So our primary team we have is Team Guff. That is going to be Logan, aka LMC Channel, and Lachlan, aka Shammy. Our second team is going to be Caffeinated Hamsters, and that, unfortunately, Evan is not here tonight, but it will be Cam, and that is Kiki. And finally, our third team is going to be SniperTimeTV, and that team is composed of Sean, aka SeanTimeTV, and Cam, aka The Sniper. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a Div 2 team already in, so let's watch some Fortnite. All right, and this is currently the Caffeinated Hamster, so we will have to see how Cam is going to do. Again, currently by himself, he has got a lot of work to do to kind of stay in here to try and maximize points for himself and his teammate. It will be very interesting to see what goes on as the drop gets underway here. But it looks like here, Cam's actually going to land at a named POI. A very interesting decision, especially by himself. No, it looks like he's going to pull back. Maybe he wanted to see if he was going to get contested, and he did. Still going to land at Canyon Crossing, though. Very interesting. Could potentially experience a lot of pressure here early on. And it looks like this POI is actually free for Cam to do the taking. So he's going to try and buy some time here, loot up very quickly. As even though he's able to get a named POI like this, again, being down a man, being down a teammate, automatically puts you at a disadvantage compared to a lot of the other teams in these drops, and he is going to have to be careful as things continue to go. And as soon as our Division 1 drop gets alive, of course, we will rotate over to that. But I believe our other team of SniperTimeTV is also a Division 2 team. So let's tune in and see how those guys are doing real quick. All right, again, this is currently the duo. Oh my gosh, sorry, technical difficulties. My mouse, this is all over the place. This is currently the duo of Sean and Cam. This is a duo that has been maybe a little bit of a sleeper here for at least us up here on the booth. They've done very well these past couple weeks and are hoping to continue some of that momentum into this week. Maybe a hidden favorite for this Division 2 banner. Obviously, we'll have to continue to wait and see how drops go for them. But playing very solid fundamental Fortnite here as we are currently watching Cam's perspective. Just going to get as much metal as he can. Going to farm up. And these guys are really going to pick this place dry. The nice thing about this, even though it's an unnamed POI, I'm not sure how much loot there actually was. Obviously, we didn't get to see that, but seemingly a lot of metal here. And we're going to see Cam probably get to max, if not Sean as well. And being at max metal is huge, especially in this early game. It completely eliminates the worry of having to get it mid to late game. And these guys are really going to set themselves up to take good advantage of their drop. Nothing on the word of Division 1 yet. So, of course, as soon as that drop goes, again, we will tune back to our Division 1 team that we're watching tonight.
One, 45 seconds.
And we're seeing a lot of farming here. I know you guys can't see, obviously, watching SniperTimeTV, but also from Caffeinated Hamsters, just doing a lot of farming, a lot of material management, which is very important for Fortnite, especially in these divisions. These guys still able to find a little bit of loot here. And we're going to see if they're able to use some of the advice that Coach Kyle gave them tonight. Obviously, their play being changed up a little bit. Not really. I shouldn't say that. Maybe their play isn't the right word. Strategy maybe being addressed again, making sure that everybody's on the same page. Just some things to keep in mind. Now, it's really going to be important to see if these teams, all of our teams here, not only our stream teams, but all of our teams off stream as well, can make sure that they keep playing good fundamental Fortnite and hopefully improve on those unfortunate drops that we saw last week. Now, again, that's not saying that every drop was a bad drop. Of course not. That's not always the case, but we definitely saw a couple not ideal ones last week. And I know, even though some of the kids are really beating themselves up about that, some of the students, I apologize. Coach Kyle trying to do his best, keeping their heads held high, keeping their motivation and momentum up, continue to do his best to make sure that the students here are ready to go for this next drop, as we are continuously seeing here. And ladies and gentlemen, it does look like our Division 1 drop has started, so let's tune in to Team Guff. All right, currently watching Logan's perspective here. Oh my lordy. As it looks like here, we're going to see another name POI drop. Actually, maybe one of the Halloween POIs from the new Fortnite Mayor season. And there are a couple new items. So if I'm a little unfamiliar, you guys will have to forgive me a little bit. Looks like these guys are currently at Viney Shafts, maybe right on the edge here. And we're going to expect them to really take this POI here. And maybe they saw an early contest, wanted to pull themselves out a little bit. It's hard exactly to say. Team Guff also trying to prioritize some material management here. Again, this is something that Coach Kyle has talked about a lot, continuously, over and over, every single season. Resource management. fundamental Fortnite, getting your resources, making sure you manage it very well. And we're going to continue to see that here. And actually, we do see some other players down at Viney Shafts. No shots fired on the side of Team Guff yet, but maybe trying to get an unexpected rotate here that could give them the drop on this team. And maybe we might just see them rotate out. Obviously, it's hard to say until we actually see it. And it does look like these guys are going to slowly but surely make their way out. Make sure to grab any loose material that they can find, especially some of this metal, which is very valuable. And even just mining this, not even the fact of mining it for yourself, but mining it for the fact that the other team cannot have it is something that is very important, because you never know how much metal is at Viney Shafts realistically. And by that, I mean, I don't know how much metal is at Viney Shafts. I'm sure the players do, or at least have an idea of how much you can get. But just fundamental things that can help make or break a game. As we see, we assume Lachlan is very close in material management, and Logan having quite a bit as well. But Lachlan takes quite a bit of damage there. Has to be careful. And it looks like these guys might just try to rotate out again, although they're kind of pinched at this point. Gonna try and use the bushes and trees for some natural cover here. And Lachlan taking a couple shots. We're going to continue to see Logan use his Flowberry Fizz as a source of a little additional movement means. Oh, that was a tongue twister. And now the Flowberry is gone, so definitely going to be on the lookout for some additional movement items here. We haven't seen the chainsaw. We haven't seen the witch broom quite yet in this drop, so that's something these guys are going to be looking out for. Also, shockwaves. But Storm is right on their tails. And it looks like these guys are going to take the damage here. Potentially have the medkits to cover them. It looks like Lachlan has crash pads, able to help give these guys the momentum to get themselves out. And this is actually a similar position to where these guys were before. We see that build. We know that build was from Lachlan from just a few minutes ago. So these guys really have to be careful. Don't know if that team is still there or not. I believe one of our teams, that team, the Caffeinated Hamsters, I believe, have already been eliminated from their drop one. And a lot for Cam to do there, as he's all by his lonesome, but not giving up. Obviously still has a second drop. Going to continue to try and do his best. And so we're going to continue to watch Team Guff here for another couple moments. And it looks like while these guys are trying to get into that storm, we're going to switch to SniperTimeTV and see how they're doing late in their drop. All right, this time watching Sean's perspective. These guys playing pretty passively so far. Obviously, we see them in this box here as we tune back in. So, potentially just on the lookout here, making sure these guys don't get jumped. They don't want to get caught out. 20 people left, not counting them. So, still quite a few survivors at this point in the game. The circle does start to get smaller and smaller. Do you see some shots fired on the visual audio? They're just going to try and get away from it. And a lot of mayhem potentially going on in front of them. A free car, though. Can't argue with that, as it looks like these guys are going to take it and try to get in a better position. Maybe a little surveying of the map as well. Another car. Cam going to take some shots. Don't know if he hits any. Going to do their best to keep the distance, though. Going to try and get some high ground here. Ooh, a little unlucky as it's not in circle, and where they were was in circle. Actually, it might be a little more than a little unlucky. That might be very unlucky. Luckily, because of the car, these guys are able to claim that spot back pretty fast. And there we see the berm come out. Unfortunately, I think Sean kind of whiffs where he wants to go, but does eventually make his way up to the rooftop, and we're probably going to see the build start out. But a team, and Sean takes a lot of damage here, already down to 110. No damage from Cam yet. Now Cam has to buy some time as Sean's going to try and big shield himself back up here. And a lot of shots going on. We even heard the shots. They were very close. Shots, the car, movement, so many things going on. This circle is not as tiny as it can be, but it is getting small quick, and Sean takes a lot of damage, down to 50 HP, as now Cam has to buy him time. And this is the position that these guys did not want to be in. Now getting pressed. Sean at pretty low health still. And Sean is going to get knocked. Cam's able to secure a knockdown, but unfortunately can't find enough. As SniperTimeTV are going to get eliminated. And we're going to go back to our primary team, Guff. Watching Lachlan's perspective here. As we see, it looks like we tuned into these guys right at the right time. A little bit of combat going on. Maybe a disengage from the other team. And because of the delay, obviously we're seeing this Division 1 drop have a lot more players left. Still 51, not counting Lachlan and Logan. So still a lot of time left in this drop. Some really good awareness there from Lachlan, trying to make sure that they're not getting crept up on from behind. And really just trying to put himself in the best position he can here. Although they do get crept up from behind. And Lachlan takes a lot of damage all the way down to 69 health. And Lachlan actually gets knocked out of the air. And Logan was able to follow him, but has a lot of pressure onto them as they jumped into another team. And now that storm is going to start to hurt. It looks like Logan is going to try and get the res here. Logan has 2 medkits. Don't remember the med items that we saw Lachlan have. It looks like he has the med mist, and actually Logan has one as well. So these guys might be all right. They might be able to tank this damage as they do not have to go far. And the crash pad is going to get them most of the way in 1 second. And these guys are already back into the safe zone. Take very little damage from that circle. And now need to recollect, buy some time here, get back into a place where they can take fights. Pointing out the situation these guys wanted to find themselves in, but did a phenomenal job at recovering, being able to get out, make the quick decisions to do what they needed to do. We're going to go back to Lachlan's perspective here. As Lachlan's inventory is looking barren. 3 items, one of them being a med mist. You know he's going to be hoping to find some other heal item and probably a movement item as well. No movement at this point for either of these guys means that if they do find themselves in a bad spot, they are going to have to play tactically or they are going to be slow. A lot of footsteps on the visual audio indicator. As Lachlan decides to peek out and he finds a knock. Good shots there from Lachlan and Logan able to support him as well. And they're going to secure the kill. Trying to figure out what to carry here. And maybe a little gift from the heavens as Lachlan gets exactly the items that he was looking for and better rarity of both of the guns that he was carrying. And it looks like here they're going to try and launch pad to get in a circle. Have to be careful not to take any damage. And they do not. At least Lachlan doesn't. Doesn't look like Logan does either. As at this point, these guys need to group back up. But Lachlan finds a big shot there. Although Lachlan gets crashed on very quickly. And Logan, even though he's with him, didn't have the time to react. And Logan tries his best, finds a big 117 shotgun shot, but not enough. As Team Guff places 28 for their drop 1. What Fortnite did we see tonight? You know, obviously we saw some things that I know some of the players are going to be beating themselves up with. You know, I know some of the students here are not going to be happy with that drop. A lot of the students here hold themselves to a very high standard, very high expectation, and unfortunately, they weren't able to find it this drop. But that's okay. The most important thing is being able to move on, being able to look into the future in this drop number 2. This was only drop number 1 of the night. We still have a whole second drop for tonight. These guys need to be able to find a way to put it out of their minds, to move on, so they can secure a better placement in this drop too. I have to shout out SniperTimeTV. That team played so phenomenally. And actually, it looks like here might have a little 3-second drop interview with the man himself, Shammy, aka Lachlan.
What's up?
What's going on, Lachlan? How are you feeling after that drop 1?
I'm feeling pretty good. It was definitely better than drops last week.
Yeah, I know, you know, especially you, someone that holds himself to a high standard here. And obviously, the 28th probably not where you want to be. So what are you doing to kind of put this drop out of your mind to focus on the next drop?
To be honest, when we came up that hill, I did not hear them. So I'm just kind of just like making sure like I listen for sound cues more. And that first kill you saw was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of did like the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of went like shoot him. Yeah, I'm just gonna try to like think about that and not make that same mistake again.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you guys are really good at comms and everything, but we're still seeing maybe not a little bit of clash, but maybe just still some of the getting on the same page. So what are you and Logan working on to continue to improve that?
Definitely calming more and like rotating with each other more. Like you probably see like many times like I was ahead and then I would have to wait for him to catch up. So
Absolutely. And finally here, Lachlan, you know, got a big drop 2 coming up.
Yeah.
Do we have any predictions, any goals of what we're trying to hit this drop 2?
10th place.
10th place. I think that's a great goal, Lachlan. Well, I'll let you get back and prepare for that, kind of clear your mind and get ready. And I appreciate your time up here.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, and it looks like I'm gonna have Sean of SniperTimeTV make his way also up into the booth. Sean, welcome to the booth. And how are you feeling after that drop 1?
Pretty good.
Yeah, you guys played really well, ended up actually finishing pretty well. Maybe got a little unlucky there at the end, just kind of got caught in a bad position. Talk to me a little bit about what you and Cam are doing to continue to improve on your gameplay and your team play together.
Probably like better comms. I feel like I'm like doing better at that. I've been looking at like videos and stuff, like practicing. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've seen you guys kind of continuously get better here throughout the weeks. What are you guys hoping to do as this kind of season continues to build, and what are your guys' goals for the season?
Probably to win at least one game. But yeah, that is like a pretty like extreme goal, but I think we could do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's very much in your guys' wheelhouse. You know, we saw some of the things even from this drop 1 that we've seen, and you guys are really technical. And I want to talk a little bit there at the end when you guys got in that car. You know, circle doesn't look like it's going to go your way. You guys decide to rotate out, and then you get a little unlucky. So in that moment, what are you and Cam trying to do to kind of calm yourselves back down and reset?
Probably get on top of the building, because I was constantly telling to him to go onto the building, because that's where we were. We got good positioning there, and we get high ground, easy high ground.
Absolutely. Well, Sean, thank you so much for your time. It sounds like your drop code is up, so I'll let you get back to your teammate, let you guys rest up, talk about what you want to do for this second drop. But congratulations, and hopefully we'll see something a little better today, or in the second drop.
Yep.
All right, and you guys heard it here. Obviously, Lachlan and Sean both having really good drop 1s. Lachlan, again, maybe a little harder on himself than he needs to be. Obviously, again, you know, we talk about players hold themselves to a certain standard. I think Lachlan is the definition of that. You know, Lachlan, a very competitive player, wants to do his best, and I think they're starting to figure things out, and I think that team is gonna do great things once they get on the same page. And also, huge shout out to Sean. It might be Sean's first time ever up in the booth. I don't know. That seems about right. Maybe he's made an appearance here or there before. I don't really know, but huge shout out to Sean, not only for coming up into the booth and talking a little bit, but for having such good gameplay, having such good answers. Sean really showing his class there as he makes his way up into the booth for, if not the first time in forever, and really handles himself on camera and with all the lights, and these lights are bright, ladies and gentlemen. Believe me when I tell you, these lights are bright. But also able to reset himself, and hopefully we see those guys do phenomenal in this drop 2. Maybe we could see them even hit their goal already. That would be insane to see. Obviously, we never know what's in the cards as we continue to get ready for this drop 2. I don't think anybody's in yet. I know drop codes, are up for Division 2 and Division 3. So as soon as those guys are in drop, we will, of course, switch on over to that. Division 1, we're expecting a little bit longer of a delay, which is okay, obviously. That just means you guys get to watch some more Division 1 gameplay. Which, I mean, I wouldn't argue with that. That's just me. But as soon as I get the word, and by that, I mean as soon as an announcement is made, which I'm sure you guys will hear, we will switch on over. And really just phenomenal gameplay. I think really the most important thing about both of the players, both Lachlan and Sean, both of the players that were able to come up here and do in-between drop interviews, is the awareness of those guys. You know, the awareness of even minutes after your drop, being able to come up here, being able to see what you did wrong, know what you did wrong, really analyze and do what you need to do to make those changes. Lachlan, Bluckley, his teammate Logan. Those guys are really good. Obviously, they're still trying to figure some things out together. It's the first time ever dueling together. So really trying to get on the same page there. But those guys are both phenomenal players, and they just got to get on the same page, and they will do phenomenal things. From Sean and Cam's aspect, I think it's the opposite. I think these guys have duoed together quite a few times at this point. Don't totally know if I'm incorrect on that or not. I don't have anyone to correct me. Pretty sure I am correct on that sense. So, really seeing those guys just not so much grow as a duo, but grow individually to better their duo. Just trying to do whatever they need to do. And we should all, Sean talk about it when he's talking about getting better with comms, something that is massive, that even at the place that he is at, the stage that he is at, the awareness to note something like that is so huge for him. And unfortunately here, we're not watching it, but there's another Division 1 game going on just right behind you guys, aka right behind the camera, that I'm able to take a little peek out and continue to watch. One of the teams we watched a couple weeks ago, the team of Parker and Matthew. So it looks like those guys are in endgame. So always great to see another team do well. Again, obviously I know they're not one of these streamed teams tonight, but I really didn't get a lot of time to introduce you guys to the stream or how we kind of typically do things. So that was my bad. A little phone call I had to take. So you guys know, maybe you don't. If you don't, I'm about to explain. We stream 3 teams here. Count it, 3, every single night when we do Fortnite. That may be changing. We are potentially currently in the works to change that. Obviously, don't know yet. Obviously, we're trying to cook things up, try to always better the content. But we have 3 teams every single night, every single Fortnite night. We have a primary, a secondary, and a third or tertiary, whatever you want to call it. We will rotate throughout the teams, of course, but I try to watch those teams the most based off of the position that they are in. So tonight, our primary team is Team Guff, which is why we watch them the most. Our secondary team is Caffeinated Hamsters, which is why we watch them a little bit. And then obviously our third team is SniperTimeTV. Now, not always perfect. There were times where people die early or drops go unlucky or DQs or delays or whatever the case may be. That things kind of change on that a little bit, but I try to do my best up here to make sure we're following that pattern. And also, I guess I should say that the rotation system of new teams, for any of you guys watching at home and are maybe saying, oh man, my student has not been featured on stream yet, when is that going to happen? Well, new team on every week. The beginning of our week, or Monday, as one of the teams ends here. So this week, for example, Team Guff is our primary team. Next week, Team Guff will no longer be on the score sheet or on the stream sheet, as what I should probably say, as Caffeinated Hamsters will get bumped up, SniperTimeTV will get bumped up, and then a new team will get featured onto the stream sheet. So, way to keep things fresh, way to keep things going on, and it looks like a lot of the drop cards are starting to get live. Pretty sure the Div2 drop code is up. I also think the Division 3 drop code has just gone up as well. So we could be expecting a Division 2 drop here any minute now. Let's actually check on, I know you guys might look like I'm looking down here. I promise I'm not doing anything. Just checking on some of the other teams to make sure that they're not in drop. No, actually they are not, but it looks like Division 2 is about to start potentially any minute now. So we will continue to sit on these guys and wait for them to start. Let's see how they are going to do. Obviously, again, we have 2 Division 2 teams tonight. That is the Caffeinated Hamsters That team is composed up of Evan and Cam. Evan, unfortunately, not here at VHEL and Camp Hill tonight. So Cam by his lonesome, and Cam goes by Kiki in game. And we also have SniperTimeTV. That team is composed of Sean and Cam. Sean, IGN, going by Sean Time TV, and Cam going by the Sniper. And ladies and gentlemen, we are dropping. So let's tune in to some Vision 2 Fortnite. Still waiting a little bit, but as things very quickly wind down, we have a quick 10-second countdown. And it looks like here we have Cam. Oh, he does have a spot ping. Wow, that ping really blended in. Oh my gosh. Blended in with the map there. I didn't see it for a little while until I saw the numbers. So looks like Cam's going to really drop on the edge here. Going to try to do his best to survive at this point. Again, a little unfortunate we didn't get to see where he kind of ended drop number 1. We have to assume it probably placement-wise wasn't great. Again, obviously asking him to do a lot. He's here by himself, trying to do his best by himself, but gonna have to be aware of this. As it actually looks like Cam's drop is getting contested, and now he's gonna have to change the last second. Might be able to go to this little gas station trailer park kind of thing, or then maybe this tunnel. So it looks like that is where Cam decides to go. And actually finding an okay amount of loot here. Finds a good movement item, finds a good weapon. No shotgun, which isn't ideal at this point, but gonna be able to get some good resources here. Gonna be able to rotate, hopefully find a couple other loose chests or things that have not been looted, and they're just gonna be able to play the game that he wants to play. That's the most important thing, especially as a solo in these drops. Wow, what 3 chests? That's massive for Cam. But being able to play the style of Fortnite you want to play, especially when you are all by your lonesome, is very important. We're going to see Cam get up to 50 shield here, as he's actually pretty well prepped for being by himself, having to switch drop spots last second. So a couple shots there we saw on the visual audio indicator. I believe we actually saw the bullet fly by too, unless I'm just crazy, which of course is possible. And if you didn't hear it, Division 1 drop code is live, so those guys should be starting in just a few minutes. And obviously, once those guys start, we will tune in to Team Guff, but we're going to stay with Caffeinated Hamsters for a little bit, and of course, we will also check in to SniperTimeTV when the time comes, but not yet. We're going to continue to see how Cam can do. So we see Cam crash padding, trying to get some distance. I believe another team is actually shooting at him, so he's going to want to do that very quickly. He does. Although a couple more footsteps on the visual audio indicator. Has to be careful at this point. Using a little bit of natural cover. This is not a situation he wants to find himself in already very early in this drop too. A lot of action going on already though, as we can see in the kill feed. A lot of stuff happening. I'm just going to continue to hunker down here. Doesn't need to do anything crazy again. By himself, has to play very careful. And Cam maybe tries to get out, but stops himself early as we see someone glide again, and we see a player right there on Cam's screen. Cam's going to take some shots. He finds 90 damage on the player. Doesn't really take that much either. He's going to try and build up. He's going to try and get out of this engagement. He's able to get away. But is he away enough? Because Team Camp the Zip, no, he decides not to. Just wants distance here. Actually going to go for high ground. Okay, I'm just going to continue to play smart here. Division 1 still not in drop yet. Maybe just another few moments for them to get started here. And while Cohen, or not Cohen, oh gosh, names. While Cam, excuse me, continues to play the kind of Fortnite that he wants to play, let's take a quick tune in to SniperTimeTV and see how those guys are doing. Currently watching Cam's perspective here. So these guys, maybe not as fortunate, have to play a little differently. We're going to see Sean close some of that distance with the crash pad. So it looks like you guys are going to try and get in the car here. Just use it not only as a movement item, but also as a way to kind of survey the area. I don't see anything quite yet. Gonna creep their way into circle here. A lot of natural cover right here, a lot of trees. And actually, they do see players. Could we see an engagement here? Are they going to decide to take the fight? And it looks like they might as they try to find a hit with the car. Cam doesn't find any shots, and they're going to use this rock formation as cover. Although Cam does find a couple big shots there, though. Can they get out? Cam gets stuck. He takes 27, and unfortunately, he gets knocked. And now Sean has to do it all by himself. Can he do it? He's able to knock one, but he's at 55 damage. And no, he cannot. As SniperTimeTV is going to fall. And we're going to go back to Caffeinated Hamsters. A little unlucky. Honestly, I felt like that was a good fight for SniperTimeTV to take. Maybe just not on the same page. I'm not really sure what the lack of plan or strategy. It's really hard to say in those situations. Obviously, I'm not in their comms, I'm not in their minds. I don't know what's going on, but I felt like that was a good engagement. Just something was off, and it cost them that fight, cost them the drop. As now those guys are not putting a hurting on their place, but definitely not the way you want to be after coming up here and having a great interview and having a really high goals and all that kind of stuff. So These guys are really going to have to make sure that they can put that drop out of their minds, the whole night really out of their minds. Their first drop actually was pretty solid, but really just be able to move on from that going into next week. So it looks like here Cam is just going to continue to play smart. Going to cone peek. Going to do the cone edit trick. Or the pyramid edit trick. God, it is an off night for me, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize. But I do believe Division 1 has dropped. So let's tune in to Team Guff and see how they're going to start out. Gonna watch Lachlan's perspective here. These guys also look like they went. Oh, pardon me. Doing unnamed POI. As Lachlan's loot is hurting a little bit. Definitely not the loadout he would prefer to have. Not sure about Logan's loadout, but it's not anything like Lachlan's. It is. Woo. And it looks like the loot is improving, slowly but surely, getting a little better here, piece by piece. And I think in our brief time away, I believe Caffeinated Hamsters, that being Cam, was also eliminated from his drop. A little unfortunate we didn't get to see what happened, but now it is just our primary team, Team Guff, and these guys are already in combat. Lachlan finds a big 10 shot there. Logan does a really good job peppering the build. See a couple big shotgun shots come out there from Lachlan, none land. He finds a big 86 to get the elim. And that is the kind of momentum that this team needs to have a good drop to. As they're going to continue to try and build on this momentum. Something a little lacking from this roster is kills. We've known Lachlan to be such a fragger, someone that is maybe a little bloodthirsty, maybe times when it's not the right decision. Goes out, tries to hunt, kills, and has, I don't want to say struggled, but has seen a decline in that since this new season has started, since he's been paired with Logan, as these guys try to get on the same page. And now finally we see these guys get a really good kill. Hopefully, again, that's the momentum that they need to have a solid drop to here. Lachlan's getting a lot of metal here from the crane. Also, chest on it, I believe. So, going to be able to loot up from it a little bit too. Now that they creep into this gas station, we're going to continue to try and farm materials here. Do see some builds, so maybe someone here previously, maybe someone's still here. Lachlan's going to break them, make sure that there's no one in them. Maybe a misinput there from Lachlan. Because I don't think he meant to crash pad, but he did anyway. And eventually he got him where he wanted to go. He just had to make some adjustments. So you're going to continue to farm up here and try to get some max material. Obviously, probably not metal, but the other two, as we see Lachlan already there. Logan going to try and get there as well. Lachlan going to try his best to pick apart any metal that he can. And circle's still very big in this drop. You guys still have a lot of time. 59 players remaining, 57 not counting them. So very much in the mid game. And it looks like here Lachlan does see someone. We're going to see another engagement go on here. Lachlan gets very close. Does take a couple shots, lands a big, and there is the combined fire that secures the kill. I believe Logan got credit for it, but Lachlan did a lot of damage. And these guys have 2 kills and are continuously doing well in this second drop. This is how they want to play. This is how they should be playing. Let's see how many more they can get. Lachlan being aware of the build there. We do see some dress right on the visual audio, and we see those builds going very quick, getting to the height that these guys are at. And what shots there from Logan and Lachlan as they find a knock mid-air. He wasn't even dropping in. He wasn't even redeploying. He was just crash padded straight up, and they were able to snipe them out. Lachlan trying to be cheeky, trying to find a crazy long shot there. It looks like they are going to find a loot, some of the loot that they were going to claim from their kill. $45 people remain. 43. Never mind. Correct me. 42 people remain. 40 are not counting Logan and Lachlan. As these guys are on the hunt for more kills, better placement, everything they've been working hard on these past couple weeks to improve and make sure they're on the same page. We do see some shots fired. We could see a little bit of a dummy camp here. Gonna camp in the cave. Hopefully someone runs in. Nobody's taken the bait quite yet. These guys are just going to continue to sit and wait. They are in circle here, so they really do not have any pressure to move. More shot on the visual audio. Players are near them. They're around Things are happening in the surrounding area. Will someone fall for it, though? That is the question. Well, Lachlan needs to take a quick second to change his settings around a little bit. Still just waiting. Lurking in this cave. Hoping some poor soul runs on in. Circle is closing. Still have another 30 seconds here before it actually closed all the way. And these guys gonna look at the next circle here. Oh, Lachlan saw someone. We saw someone jump right over the opening of the mountain or of the cave. Footsteps on the visual audio indicator. They're getting so close. Is someone gonna come in? Lachlan's gonna try and take a peek. We see a lot of action going on. Very close to them. No shots fired yet. Trying to maybe combine fire here as they are. And Lachlan unfortunately only hits one. We don't know how many Logan hit. Now, this is where we're kind of seeing this natural cover that's going to bite them a little bit. As these guys are trapped, they only have one entrance and one exit. Decide just to back up a little bit. Decide to retreat into their cave. Just waiting. Yet again, go back to this waiting game that these guys are playing, hoping that someone enters their cave. Nobody has taken the bait yet. They've even sent off some warning shots. That combat is still going on over there. You can see it. Lachlan keeping an eye on it. Lachlan does have a couple crash pads, and it looks like they are going to try and get out. Going to try and get high ground here. I have to be careful, though, because now they're exposed. But it doesn't look like anybody's up here somehow. As these guys are just going to take the high ground of the mountain for free 99. We do see Logan and Lachlan potentially try to find an angle on some of the teams fighting right here. Could see some combined fire going on. No shots fired yet. I'm going to wait for the right moment. And it looks like they do combine fire. I don't think any of those stray bullets hit. Lachlan going to fire a couple more shots. Although hits a 59, gets a knock, gets an elim. Huge shots there from Lachlan. And now him and Logan are going to get back out, back to where they came from. Going to use this launch pad and rotate into the circle. And my, does this place look familiar. we saw SniperTimeTV pay the price for being here. Logan and Lachlan, though, do a great job at clearing this POI and putting themselves in position that they want to be. We're trying to see Lachlan, excuse me, land a jump. He missed it a couple times. Decided to just take the easy way out. Maybe Logan struggling with the same thing. Lachlan hits it that time, though. First try. So we're seeing the pyramid trick here. Both of them doing it. And this is really a great way to just give yourself so much information without being exposed to any damage here. Especially in brick. These guys are going to be able to take some shots or their build, excuse me, is going to be able to take some shots, take some damage. These guys are still going to have time to react to make sure that though they are safe and they don't take any. We do see a build though. Lachlan very worried about that build right over the peak of the mountain. And actually, I think we see a head peeking out. It's fair for Lachlan to be worried, as these guys have to be careful at this point, as that other team could come on to their build at any moment. And it looks like Lachlan wants the launch pad here, as there's already one in their build. Maybe just wants it for extra security as the drop moves on. And it looks like here they are going to take the launch pad in their build. And some shots coming through here. Logan takes a lot of damage. Lachlan takes a lot as well. Not as much as Logan did. These guys are going to try and secure a spot here in the lower ground of OXR HQ. I do not think that these guys are together right now. I think they are separated. So someone is going to have to close the distance. $25 players left. 23 and not counting Lachlan and Logan. And I believe some of our other Division 1 teams are still left alive as well. So potentially less than 20 players left, not counting anybody from VHEL and Camp Hill. As we see VHEL and Camp Hill find a couple kills there. Shout out to one of our other teams, even though they're not on stream. Gotta show them the love. Lachlan and Logan gonna just play smart here. Gonna wait for things to come to them. As we do see some footsteps on the visual audio, we could see them peek out here. Things are getting close. Don't want to give themselves away, but Lachlan still has this launch pad. They could use it to try and find a better position here, and it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do, as Lachlan's going to take it and lead the way here for him and his teammate. As they get almost all the way to circle with that launch pad usage. And circle here, not in an ideal spot. These guys are going to have to build once they get in a position that they want to be in. We see some builds in front of them. Maybe going to sit in the bush. No, Lachlan wants to keep moving. And they're going to try and combine fire here. Can they find an elim? Can they find a knock? They find the final destroyer, but they both run out of ammo. They both have to reload. And unfortunately, now they just have to leave that person alive. Not the way that they wanted things to go for them. And it looks like these guys are actually getting crashed onto now. Logan and Lachlan need to stay calm here. Need to play the game that they know they can play. They are grouped up, which is very important for them. When these guys are grouped up and on the same page, they have done phenomenal things. We've seen it already this drop, and this smart circle is getting smaller and smaller by the second. 17 players left, 15 not counting Lachlan and Logan. And almost a full circle pull for them. Do they have a long way to go and not a lot of cover? And Lachlan sees somebody hunting. He does take a big shotgun shot. Takes a bit of damage, though, himself. We're going to see the Flowberry come out here. Going to give them the jump boost and the movement boost to be able to get out and close the distance to this new circle. Except a little miscommunication as these guys kind of part the Red Sea. Lachlan notices quickly and tries to rotate back, but Lachlan actually gets knocked, and Logan can't close the distance. And Lachlan fell, and now Logan's got a lot to do here with Circle on his back, taking so much damage here. And just like that, Logan held into Storm. And there is nothing that he could have done as Team Guff finishes 8th place. And so much better for Team Guff, that drop. Honestly, a more normal drop, kind of a more expected drop from what we expect to see out of this phenomenal team. As, again, we talked about it all drop one. We talked about it all on the break. But Logan and Lachlan, such good players. These guys just have to figure a couple of the fundamental things out to be on that same page to make sure that this is how they are consistently playing and that they're just able to continue to take their game to the next level. Also, I have to shout out the team of Matthew and Parker, who got 7th in that drop. So just one place above Team Guff. Huge shouts out to them. Again, I know they were not the featured on stream team or one of the on-stream teams, but phenomenal placement for them. Such great drops here. This drop 2, so much better, I think, all around than drop 1. But that's just my opinion. Let's see what we need to do to get the old Coach Kyle up here and get his opinion on the topic. It looks like here he's just going to answer a couple questions, which is fine. We got nothing but time. And actually, it looks like I'm going to have Parker come up here. Parker, welcome up to the booth. And how are you feeling after that drop 2?
Pretty good.
Absolutely. So, we actually didn't get to watch much of your drop, and by that I mean any of your drop. But we saw you guys finish 7th. A lot of action going on in that end game. Obviously, we're watching Team Guff, one of the friendly rivals, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
How are you guys trying to manage that end game?
Basically just get placement as much as possible. We had good rotations and finished 7th, so that's really good.
Yeah, absolutely. And you and Matthew still kind of finding your ground, but being very consistent here. And I know you guys maybe struggled a little bit last week, but playing a much more consistent game here. Is this something that you're hoping to continue to carry on as the weeks go on?
Definitely.
Absolutely. And finally here, Parker, obviously you guys getting better every week in and week out. Obviously Coach Kyle continuing to give some advice. Is there anything you guys are going to try and clean up for next week that allows you to maybe get 6th, maybe 5th, maybe win a drop? Who knows?
Yeah. So basically, the one mistake we had in the second drop is we didn't push the team that we beamed. And if we would have pushed, we would have got refreshed and a 6th place at minimum. Yep.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Fortnite's a game of decisions, and sometimes you make the right ones, and sometimes doesn't go your way. So, but congratulations on a 7th place finish, and hopefully we'll get to see you up in the booth in the future.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right.
All right, and I think we're actually gonna have his teammate Matthew come up as well. Matthew, welcome up to the booth. And how are you feeling after that drop too?
Well, I'm feeling good. We did really good today, compared to some games we had the past weeks. But yeah, I feel like we did pretty good.
Yeah, and enlighten me a little bit. Obviously, you guys weren't on stream, so I didn't really get to watch much other than from different perspectives. We saw a 7th place finish in drop 2. How was your guys' drop 1?
We got 8th with like 4 kills.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys really did do well tonight. And you guys, it seemed like you're starting to figure it out, right? Obviously, we saw an 8th and a 7th place tonight. What are you and Parker working on consistency-wise to continue to place in those spots?
Well, I feel like something we improved on a lot was our rotations in end game and even early game too. Like the first weeks we didn't have great rotation and we just get caught just being in the open and then we get sprayed. But now we're like building and rotating great.
Absolutely, and I think this is the first time in Division 1 for both of you, or maybe you're a repeat. I forget exactly, but obviously here we're even if it's not, we're seeing a lot of changes to the Division 1 format, and by that I mean engagements are happening a lot quicker, decisions are being forced to happen a lot faster. So how are you not only adapting but helping Parker adapt to that such fast game as well?
Well, we're just like trying to finish fights faster, honestly. I feel like before D1, like last season, we take a good bit longer to finish our fights, but in the new D1, we just have to like fight fast, try to finish it, and if we can't, then we're just
You gotta get out.
Yep.
Gotta
find a way out.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Matthew, congratulations on such good drops tonight. Thank you for your time up here, and hopefully we'll get to see you back up in here with more better drops.
Yep, thank you too.
All right, thank you. All right, it looks like I'm gonna have Lachlan come up next. We saw him in between drops. Now, hopefully in a little bit of a better mood after a much better 8th place with I believe 3 kills. So talk to me a little bit about how you feel. 4 after. Talk to me a little bit of how you're feeling after that drop too.
I'm honestly feeling great right now. That was like such a good game. Definitely a few mistakes from me and Logan, but we can fix those. Like Logan maybe building more than for me, maybe taking more shots than I need to. So
yeah, and we saw you guys did a really good job at combining fire. And people at home didn't hear, but I got to hear you actually count down when you guys are gonna shoot on a player or on a build. So what does something like that kind of allow you and unlock for your and Logan's game?
Free kills.
Free kills. It's as simple as that, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
And we saw it not only in drop 1 but also in previous weeks. You guys not finish where you want to, not have as many kills as you want to, and now we saw a much better finish. Are we expecting to see some of that confidence back, some of that swagger that I know that you got?
I'm hoping.
I'm
really hoping.
Absolutely. And well, Lachlan, of course, you're gonna continue to get better. Same with Logan. Hopefully you guys will be able to finish out the mid and rest of the season strong here. But thank you so much for your time, and now I get to talk to your lovely coach.
Yep.
All right, and making his way up to the booth, running from the back because he's so excited. Coach Kyle.
We had a beautiful little Olympic handoff there of Lachlan and I was like passing the baton with the headphones.
Welcome back.
It's good to be back.
And how are you feeling after the high quality Fortnite tonight?
I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, like we talk about every time. I feel like every time I'm here, it's like, well, got to make some adjustments for next week. Got some stuff we, learned for next week, but I'm still feeling great about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw, I really want to highlight drop 2. We saw, I think every team, every stream team, maybe even every team in the arena. Obviously, I wasn't around.
Yeah.
But it seemed like do better in drop 2 than drop 1.
Yeah, drop 2 was definitely stronger across the board.
Was it something that you said in between drops? Was it just getting on the same page thing?
they by the second game the shine on my bald head starts. It's like a beacon, and everybody I'll be honest, I think truthfully it's just that they need to get a little bit more warmed up. This season is very different, like we've talked about a couple of times for most of our league seasons, and it's like, wow, this is such a huge difference in terms of the amount of competitors, the level of competitors, the aggression. So I think sometimes, truthfully, it takes like a match for them to be like, oh.
Absolutely.
And it's almost like the survival instincts lock in. I truly believe that that's what it is. Now, I will say some stuff that we talked about last week into this week is clearly carrying over.
Yes.
You'll notice a lot of our teams have backed off, like from fights that they were not going to win, or teams are like really aggressively pushing a fight after they start one really successfully. This is all stuff that we've been talking about probably the last week and a half, from like, you have 45 seconds to get a fight done.
Yeah. And I want to talk about, we saw SniperTimeTV continue to build that confidence, but we also see Guff start to get their confidence back.
Yes.
So what are you doing with teams like that have maybe struggled a little bit and are trying to find their way?
With Guff specifically, one of the things that we want to work on with them is it's not the big stuff, it's the little stuff that we're trying to sharpen up. It's Logan realizing, oh, I need to like move at an angle across this corner so that when I let off, I'm not unloading a bunch of bullets into the back of Lachlan and doing no damage to anything. Or it's like, I need to hug here, or it's being comfortable to take some time, whether it's 5, 6, even 7 minutes. Oh gosh, to sit in a cave for a little bit and then wait to rotate differently, which you saw them do in drop 2. And it was excellent. Like, it takes a lot of self-restraint and a lot of control as players to be like, we don't have to just do this. We can wait. It also takes some restraint to be like, all right, cool. Now it's time to just take the brakes off and go full tilt at another team until they're dead, which is fine. So that's one of the things that we're working on with Sniper Time. Part of the reason that when you were like, hey, who do we think is going to be third slot for streaming today? I'm like, I want it to be Sniper Time. What you're seeing, I love this, by the way, and I'm going to give Sean his like third shout out of the night, but you'll see Sean, his comms are so much better and so much stronger across that game. I feel like he is talking constantly, where he's like, okay, we're going to go here now. We're going to go right to here now. They're right over here on the ridge. We need to switch weapons. And I'm just sitting there and I'm just like beaming. I'm like, it's like everything I want. With Sniper Time, and they'll be okay with this because I gave them a hard time to their faces, but you'll have seen in that second engagement, if you go back and you watch that game, it was their fight and they just totally sold it.
Yes.
and I look at them and I was like, what happened there,
I
boys?
actually agreed with that on stream.
That was like,
pretty much my take too.
Because it was beautiful. They had knocked somebody, so they were up in the air. They couldn't do a whole lot. They had taken 13 shields off. They were hopping off, and then all of a sudden they had lost. And I'm like, what happened? And Sean goes, I used the rocket launcher up close. And Cam goes, I hit the wrong button. I'm like, okay, one, Sean, you have a fully loaded shotgun in close range. Please use that next time so you don't take out half of your own health. And I look at Cameron, I'm like, Cameron, buddy, I've watched your Marvel Rivals games. There are at least 4 buttons in Marvel Rivals. Pick the right button. She just starts laughing. So but like, truthfully, it speaks to like a level of experience, right? For a while, a couple seasons now, SniperTimeTV has been really content to be like having fun, enjoying each other's presence, learning some of the fundamentals. But this feels like the first season where they're like, we're ready to kick it into overdrive. And they're starting to realize that when you get under that pressure, it is like, I sympathize with Cam. It is hard to hit the right button sometimes when you're in one of those fights. I've said the wrong thing or hit the wrong button when I'm in the middle of a game before.
I know I have.
Yeah, I was going to say. So it's one of those things, like, we joke about it, we laugh about it, but that's one of the elements of this game and any professional game, right? Where the more experience you have, the more used to it, the easier it's going to go. So like 2-3 weeks from now, the odds of Cam hitting that button, if he keeps up the way that he's been keeping up, I don't think he's going to hit the wrong button next time.
And very briefly here, I want to highlight Caffeinated Hamsters. Cam, all by his lonesome tonight, but just doing his best.
He is, and this is one of the things that I love, and you might resonate with this, I think, as a coach too, is like, you see a kid who is clearly like, being down a teammate it just sucks. Like, it's just what it is. It's the worst. And Cam did it with a smile on his face, and did it with Coach Connor right by his side, and tried his absolute darndest. He was getting third and fourth party. Like, there are like 5 teams all converging all at once. And Cam's just like, well,
Nothing I can do.
Shoot. I
Yeah,
guess it's
yeah,
time.
yup.
And I love it because I asked him, I'm like, Cam, how did the game go? He goes, not well. but like he was like, it happens.
Yeah,
But that mindset though is so important. It's so hard to cultivate. And like we want to make sure that we're continuing to reinforce it because it goes beyond being positive and it goes into being resilient, which is like the kind of competition and like competitive mindset that you really want to cultivate. So yeah, I'm super proud of him. I'm super proud of all of them, honestly. Like this was a great night of Fortnite.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I'm very excited that SniperTimeTV is like starting to be like actual threats. It's really fun to like watch them be like, oh, we are great at this game. I'm really excited that Cam has continued to sort of firm it up. I loved watching Guff do their thing. I loved watching Parker and Matthew continue to like play some high level D1 Fortnite. Gavin and Cohen, shout out to my boys, the corrupted capybaras. Just absolutely fragging out, just deciding that they're like, you know what? No, we're going to be really assertive in every fight that we take. So again, like, was there a giant victory royale tonight? No, but does this feel like one more step forward for the whole arena? Yes, and I love it.
And that's all you can ask for, realistically.
Yeah, I was gonna say asking for more than that is like that's just being spoiled at that point. Yeah, this is awesome. So,
well, Coach Kyle, thank you so much for your time up here. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Some quality Fortnite tonight, and of course, we'll have you back up here next Monday.
As always, much appreciated, Coach Christian.
All right, everybody. It is very dark in here, but with that being said, that is going to do it for us here at VHEL and Camp Hill. So from myself, Coach Christian, and everybody here, thank you guys so much. And we will see you on on Thursday at least, for some Valorant. And until then, have a good night, everybody.